Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Boss Talk 843 Reacts, the place that's going to get you the best dang reaction every single dang time. And today, we're going right back to Africa, man. I'm going to show y'all some cool videos of people that move back over there so you guys can see it's not all what they show us over here with Africa is, because we need to start learning and seeing what different stuff is, so they can't just tell us anything and we believe it and we stay stuck in this rat race for the rest of our lives. So I'm gonna be pushing these videos up on y'all so y'all could kind of join this, take this little journey with me, and we could definitely try to open each other's eyes and we could see what the next steps of our lives are going to be. So enjoy these videos and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that ding ding bell button so you get all the newest notifications when I drop new videos. All right.
A quick warning for Black people moving to Africa.
So over the last few years, you might have heard of the Black Exodus, where it's African Americans who are choosing to leave America and relocate to Africa, either to visit for prolonged periods of time or to live there permanently. And as an African, I would like to offer you a key piece of advice in today's episode. A few weeks ago, I was wasting precious sleep time on TikTok when I came across the video of a non-melanated person who lives in the African country of Tanzania. He's lived there for a while, and he decided to stitch the video of a Black American person who was thinking about moving to Tanzania. And this guy went on and on about how it's violent, there's no electricity, there's no water, there's no food, it's bad, blah, blah, blah. And keep in mind, he has lived there for years. Keep in mind, Tanzania has always been considered one of the more peaceful African countries by both the United Nations and a lot of Western countries, and they also have a female president, something which the United States has not done. Sadly, his views are not an anomaly. Warning Black Americans not to go to Africa is kind of a thing. At Cage the Chameleon pointed out that Black lives might not matter in America, but they certainly matter to capitalism, which is why you see all of this negativity being pushed around Black people who are planning to relocate to Africa. Please don't misunderstand me or her. As a Black person, you have to make sure that a country is good for Black people. Be safe, do your research. The problem is this organized negativity to scare Black people from moving to Africa. It is being done by people who own companies there, who go there for vacations, who go there for mission trips, who go there and live as expatriates, but suddenly they don't want Black people moving back there. Those are the people I'm telling you to watch out for. If you're gonna go to Africa, pick a country, do your research, talk to Africans like me, but also newer immigrants. I haven't been to Africa in over 20 years. So I can give you some information, but you're better off talking to a fresh immigrant African. Another way to combat the negative information is watching news from these countries. Like, say you're gonna go to Kenya, you just go to YouTube, type KTN News Live, because it's Kenyan news by Kenyans, so you get it straight from the source and you get what is happening right now. Read Nigerian newspapers, watch content creators from Zimbabwe, talk to people from Angola, get the news straight from the source. Wherever you get your information from, vet them extensively, consider their motives. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any more questions. Also follow at Cage the Chameleon, and I will see you in the next episode.
Yeah, don't believe the hype. Don't believe what these people are telling you, what they're showing you, because if you look around right now, when are you going to be out the rat race? If Africa's so bad and all this stuff is going on, in your area where you live, it's no violence. Nothing goes down. I know Ghana is a heck of a lot less violent than America. And that's on any given day. But look around and look at yourself and see how when you gonna actually be able to relax in life and not do pretty much anything for this system to keep them running, while they give you nothing in return. And let's get on with these videos.
Here are the top 10 reasons why African Americans are moving out of the USA. 1, people are scared out of their minds. Scared to breathe, scared to think, scared to have an opinion, scared for their lives, scared for their body. Just freaking scared. Of who? I ain't gonna say who, we already know who. We can't afford to live in the USA, our own country. The rent is high, food is high, the cost of living is just high. And of course, minimum wage doesn't allow you to be able to afford the cost of living. In other countries, some of us just feel safer than in USA. The bullying that we experience at work, the bullying we experience just on a daily basis just for having dark skin. Yeah, I mean, it's my country too. I was born here. The food quality in the USA really, really sucks. For instance, high fructose corn syrup is that very concentrated sugar additive that you see in pretty much everything processed. That is really, really, really bad for your health, especially your heart. But it's allowed in the USA, but not in other countries. It's like literally illegal. A lot of us, and self included, we're tired of the disrespect. We're tired of being lied on. We're tired of the stereotypes, categories they put us in. We're tired of all of that BS. Like, we're tired of fighting. We just want peace. And like, most of all, like, we just don't want to die before our time. So we leave. I currently relocated to Mexico, but I think I'm going to be going to Africa next. Everybody should go to Africa. It's time.
If you're thinking about leaving the West to relocate to the African continent, this is the only advice I can give you for free, but for the rest I'll take PayPal. This is it. Create your own opportunity and be your own boss. Do not overcomplicate things. Look around you, see what's missing and fill the gap. Our continent is not just rich in natural resources and fertility, it's also rich in opportunities. So do not relocate to look for work, well, unless you have more connections than the Atlantic Ocean. Why, some of you may ask? Well, the days when employers used to find your qualifications from Western countries sexy are almost gone. Plus, finding a decent job that pays a decent wage is like trying to empty an Olympic swimming pool with a teaspoon. But don't give up if you take that option. You see, this game of life is 90 minutes plus extra time, so don't stop pushing. You might land one of those NGO or UN job, godfatherism. But my point is this: the West is saturated with everything that society needed to create in order to function. For us, these times are exciting because we are just warming up the machine. I will only ask one thing from you for yourself. Know your worth, value yourself, respect yourself. Do not bend over to get over just for an opportunity, and do not become a yes man just for cash. Plus, it's not doing your employer a favor. Now, whatever you do with this information is entirely up to you.
Hey everybody, so thank you for commenting and leaving your thoughts and your well wishes. I really appreciate it. We're doing excellent, and there's still more to discover. But I want to answer this question here. It says, oh wow, I would love to know more because I'm wanting to move to Africa and spend the rest of my life there. First, I feel you because I've lived in America for most of my life, and I never truly felt free there. When I came to Africa was when I truly felt free. It's a freedom that that you really can't describe unless you come experience it. There's so much love here, in a way that you don't experience anywhere else, but within your little small household type of love. But it's more open, even though everybody still has their individual lives and families and things like that. You still have, it's just a different type of love. So I will say that Africa is a wonderful place to want to live for the rest of your life. Where in Africa? My advice is to do some research on where you want to go. I actually put a tweet out in 2020 in March and said, I want to move to Africa, but I want to move somewhere that typically everybody doesn't go to, like Ghana or South Africa. Give me some suggestions and why. And so many things happened. That'll be a story time about what happened. But I ended up in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country, which is right above Ghana. It borders 6 West African countries, and it's also one of the poorest countries. And I went there because of some land and also an opportunity to help work with a nonprofit organization. I actually helped get $250,000 worth of donated medical equipment to Burkina last year. So that was one of the biggest things that I did, philanthropy-wise here in Africa. But I ended up in another French-speaking country, which is right next door, which is Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. Reason being is because it was more conducive for my family, like as a unit. For my daughter, who is school age, and my other daughter who does music, this is just a more faster pace and more conducive for our family. Burkina is very, needs to come up type of place. It's still needing help. So, which I would never give up on or abandon. I still own land, 2 plots of land in Burkina. So I'm never going to abandon my first country, but I do live in a place that's more conducive. So what I will say is do your research on all the countries that, you know, that you might want to visit, and then go there first before you move, make sure, and then, you know, make the plunge. But I'll be doing some more videos, so stay tuned. I appreciate all my new followers. I followed you back. Let's do this.
Here is why African Americans are moving to Ghana. Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence, and this was under the leadership of Kwame Nkrumah. It is this status that motivated the migration of African Americans. They looked up to Ghana as the new promised land, compared to how they were unfairly treated in America. The country served as an inspiration to people of African descent, whether they were originally from Ghana or not. American civil rights activist and writer W.E.B. Du Bois also settled in Ghana till his death, and he was buried in Accra. At the time of migration, he and some other activists moved to Ghana to contribute to the development of the country and also escape racism in the United States. Kwame Nkrumah welcomed the African Americans into the country, and he even brought the civil rights activists into his inner circle as advisors and political allies. And since that time, more African Americans have applied for permanent residence in Ghana. To encourage their migration and visits, the country decided to offer them a special visa. We're also aware that many Americans visited Ghana last Christmas. Will this be their regular destination? Keep following OK Africa.
A wave of African Americans are choosing to move to the African continent.
We begin this hour with a story of an African country opening its arms to Black Americans. There are 5,000 Black Americans who've already gone back to Ghana because they don't feel comfortable here.
I feel much more connected.
That the nation has the hospitality is second to none.
Sanchez weeps. This is her homecoming.
When you see them people, they look just like your family.
I was like, whoa, this is nothing like they told us.
It was amazing to be welcomed. I mean, it blows me away.
In the last few years, thousands of Black Americans have returned from America to live in Africa. And in this video, I'm going to show you several video clips, which is going to be what these people who have actually returned to Africa, to live in Africa, have to say about Africa versus United States. Okay? Anyway, we have to get into it.
I was living what people would consider the American dream. I was educated, professional, had friends. I was a socialite, but I never felt safe.
She was constantly looking over her shoulder.
My immediate thought all the time was, oh my gosh, you know, what if a police officer pulls me over? Am I going to be physically safe? Am I going to come out of it alive?
I will be the last to fall.
A retired American teacher who had lived in Memphis all her life never thought she would leave. But in the summer of 2017, she experienced what she calls a wake-up call.
I was 57 at the time, and I was stopped by the police, 6 cars. They said my car was stolen, and they put me in cuffs. And I was like, this is saying that it's time for me to go.
2 months later, she decided to leave the U.S. for good.
And that's how it was for me. I called home while I was here the first week. I said, I'm not coming home.
How did they respond?
They said, be careful. And I'm like, no, it's more dangerous in the U.S. than it is here. I mean, it's peaceful. The people are inviting. They're welcoming.
Racism is there, staring you in the face, and I am not sure if there's any way around it or out of it or anything that will fix it. And this is the reason why we left.
the cost of living keeps you working and you never get a chance to come back. I know there are people that have been in America for decades. You're struggling to make ends meet. They're trying to pay their rent. You get so caught up in paying bills, you don't have time to save.
As Black Americans, we're starting to come to the realization of our place in America. We're coming to understand that America was really never meant for us to be there as free people.
In a sense, that's why you left America. It's to reclaim yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
I would be here all day if I was telling you all the experiences that I had with racism in the United States. Really, from being followed in stores to being pulled over by police for no reason, to not being offered a job. I'll be here all the day, explaining to you on a daily basis what it is like to be Black in America.
I feel much more connected, and I look at people and I say, oh my goodness, that could have been, these people could be related to me. These people probably knew my grandmother's grandmother's grandmother.
If I'm honest with myself, I wasn't living in America, I was doing in America. I could hardly breathe.
If we take a horse and from one country to another country, right? Say if it's an African horse or an African elephant, and you take it to a circus or a zoo in somewhere in America, does the child of that elephant all of a sudden not belong to where the mother or father of that elephant came from? No, that elephant has a home too. And for me, Kenya, Africa is, was, always will be home in terms of this lifetime.
I've been in Africa for a little over 11 years now. Once I landed on the continent, I felt so at home, I felt at ease, and I felt at peace. It was a natural emotion to want to move to Africa.
I've been a victim of police brutality from a very early age. 11 years old, walking with a friend of mine in London, two white officers approached me directly, stepped on my toes and said, why am I walking with a white person, and headbutt me in my face. And I was only 11 years old at the time. It's been a long time after slavery. It's been a long time after colonization. Things need to change, and the only way it can happen is if the diasporans move back.
That my journey started with wanting to serve, and it comes from I think a place of ignorance of what we've been taught, the lack of what we've been taught about the continent, and unfortunately the little bit of information that we were taught was the bad things. So growing up, you're believing that there's always something bad on the continent. Inside of me, I really wanted to come to a place that I felt that people looked like me and where that it would make a bigger impact.
Yeah. One of my biggest regrets is not getting here sooner. I wish we'd have got here a little earlier.
Right.
And maybe learn the language. And you know what? It's raining on us right now.
What we gonna do? You want to go to another area, or we just stick it out in the rain? Cause you're
I ain't getting wet.
Wow. They tell you, you go to Africa, you gotta take shots. And you gotta take like 5 or 6 different, types of shots to save you from this, save you from that, save you from this.
Why does that rumor even exist, though?
I mean, because they know the value of Black people going back home. Can you just imagine if African Americans in America decided, you know what, man, America, we going back home, and then all the value that we bring here, we took over there.
There's some stuff that I'm doing here that I never thought I would do in America.
Like what?
It's just. For instance, I'm exploiting the river right here with the cage. It's not something I would think about doing in America,
I'm gonna show you, I don't know if you can see a house. There's a house back there that's 4,000 square feet. And I told you this is sitting on about 12 hectares. In America, our house was the size of our bedroom.
Right.
So do I regret coming to Africa? Hell no. Hell no.
I don't know, but I wouldn't be doing that in America, or being in a resort like this and helping the employees out, the people from this village out. And so to me, I feel like I can help way more people here than I can help in America, but that's just me.
I mean, you don't want to go back?
No, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
Why?
I found a home here.
Real, man. No, that's real. That's real. That's
Just think
real.
about it.
That's real. That's real, man. That's real, man.
Good morning, TikTok. I'm going to answer this question here. What would you suggest to a person moving to Ghana from America? My first thing that I would suggest to you is that you do your research. You're going to research Ghana. You're going to research the culture. You're going to research the food. You're going to research the different places you can go and the things that you can do while you're there. You're going to research different ways of transportation, different places to live, Airbnbs, hotels, or even renting your own place. It matters how long you're going to stay there. So do your research. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos before I went to Ghana my first time. The second thing I suggest that you do is to figure out why you're going to Ghana. I don't know why it is, but whenever you're in Ghana and it's like 10 days or 3 weeks or 3 months, it seems like it goes by so fast. And just the way that life is in Ghana, it moves a lot slower. So if you know what you want to do, as soon as you hit the ground, you're going to get more done. You need to know if you're going there for fun. Just for fun, if you're going there for business, if you're going there for culture, or if you're going there for all those different things or more. You need to figure out why you're going. The third thing I suggest that you do is to have some kind of point of contact. Someone that you can call, someone that you can talk to, someone that can point you in the right direction when you get to Ghana, and someone that, you need to have a person or something there in Ghana that you can go to with questions and concerns, or just to tell them about your, what you're doing, what your day is. Ask them, is this where I'm supposed to be going? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Someone that can help you. Those are the 3 things that I suggest to anyone who is thinking about deciding to move to Ghana from the United States. I hope this helps. Ask more questions in the comments of this video or the last video I posted, and I'll be happy to answer them as best to my ability. Thanks.
So look, family, I'm an African American, right? I was a African-born American, all right? And I just want to give you all my experience of Africa and what Africa has been and what it is. So definitely, like with my experience, Africans are super friendly. Continental Africans, super friendly. Like in America, you can walk down the street, you hail somebody up, yes, king. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Bless up. In America, they might look at you like, I don't know you, like, why are you hailing me up? Like, I don't, even might go to a point of mean mug you. They might mean mug you in America, you know what I'm saying? In Africa, everyone is like, yo, bless.
Today I wanted to say something to specifically African American people.
But these are all African Americans that resided in the U.S. at some point, and now they don't. There's Tasha right there, and she's eating. Okay, and there's like I said, everybody's here is from the U.S. Say hello. Hello. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Hey. That guy right there is a musical genius right there with his child and so forth. And like I said, that guy right there is from Arkansas. And this young lady right here, she's from the D.C. area, but she's busy. And but this is where we are. And we all having drinks, enjoying ourselves. Right now it's winter, so you see everybody wearing their coats and whatnot. That guy. Oh, okay. So, but yeah, this is kind of what we do. And so that's why we try to bring people to South Africa. Not just to come here and just kind of like, okay, well, I'm just trying to find a little place to stay. No, come and actually enjoy yourself. Fellowship with the people that are already here, that are from all parts of the U.S. People have made that trek here and have found a place to live. And like I said, this is her house, and then maybe later on I'll show you my house where I live. But like I said, there's a lot of reasons to come here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this around. Okay, so you see me. But yeah, like I said again, all you have to do is go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com. And right now we have the whole entire South Africa on lock. So what we want you to do is give us a call. And once you give us a call, the number's on the website, or give us an email, review the website, look at everything. And when you get there, just say, okay, you know, I'm highly interested. We will design something perfectly for you. So when you get here, you'll be like, I'm sorted. You ain't got to figure it out. You don't have to do any of that. But at the end of the day, South Africa is a definite option for anyone.
Story time, like everyone asked. Basically, my parents figured out that they were not happy in the States and they were becoming of age and they didn't want to stay there and just keep spending money there and keep working until they're like, 60-something, 70-something. So they were like, okay, well, we can, take the money that we have now, go to another place and live happy and, stress-free. So that's what we did. So we sold the house, we sold all the cars, sold our furniture, all that good stuff. Basically, there is no secret to it. It's just you really have to have that mental and you physically do it, and then once you do it, it's a very, very big change. Like, it's not the same like America. Everything is like pristine condition, everything like that. When it comes to housing and looking for housing here, it's very troubling. And it's only troubling because they don't have this standard of how a house should be or how it should be built. So everything is very, very different. So when you come here, you really have to be like very, very open-minded with everything because it is an adjustment. But I'll do some more story time on that.
The UK is not a nice place to live. I'll be honest with you. All these people that are trying to go the back way, think again. It is not what you think it is. The UK, there are high levels of poverty at the moment. 14.3 million people live under the poverty threshold. In terms of homelessness, the density of homelessness is high. The only thing that saves England is, if you like, the benefit system. But other than that, England is an absolute dump. It's a dump, and London is a dump. You have small pockets of nice areas, as you do in every country, but for me, England is a dump. There are high levels of desanitation. There are issues around racism, terrible racism. I mean, how can you live in a place where you're not wanted? How can you live in a place where you're not welcome? And how can you live in a place where people are hostile to you almost every single day? You can't live your life like that. You cannot live. And money, no matter how much money or little trinkets or little things they want to give you, it is never going to justify having to suffer and your children having to suffer. What, to live in a little matchbox house when you can live in a beautiful palatial palace like this with a swimming pool where you can pick coconuts and mangoes and oranges and live with people who like you? Oh, come on.
The people in here like you?
They love me.
She's on fire. Let me know, this is very important for you telling me that the people in here love you. They don't even like you, they love you. Yeah. I want to stress on that because this is something that I really want people out there to know, because a lot of people are saying that whenever they come to Africa, Africans are not going to like that.
Oh, listen, this is our home. We are black. When you come here, the first thing they said to me is, welcome back to your spiritual home.
Wow.
That's what they said to me. I didn't get that when I went to Jamaica. I didn't get that when I went to America. I didn't get that when I went to Europe, Spain, France, Turkey, Portugal, Italy. I didn't get that when I went to Mauritius. I didn't get that when I traveled to Cuba. I didn't get that in all of the places that I've been. I didn't even get that in Tunisia, Morocco. I didn't get that when I went to Egypt. But I got that when I came back to the proper motherland, which I call, black Africa. And this is why, like I said, you have to make this your home. You're not living in England, you're surviving. You're not even thriving. You're just about existing, and this is what we're doing. We're working ourselves to death in England, literally. And the government are now trying to, make you work harder for longer, till 67, till you can retire. No. So many of my friends have died before they even got to my age because of stress and other illness, not eating good food, not breathing good air, drinking clean water. This is the truth.
While we're on the topic of why there's no fruit trees in America, let's talk about how expensive it is to eat healthy in America. In America, I used to pay $5, which is equal to about 20,000 Ugandan shillings for one pineapple. In Uganda, I paid $2 for about 6 or 7 pineapples. So just look at the difference in costs, right? And we're talking about a first world country compared to a developing country. Like, that is insane.
When I go to Africa, bro, it's such a relief that I don't feel like a nigga trying to kill me. If I go anywhere,
would you ever move there? Cause I ain't gonna lie, I want to move there.
I would. I'd move to South Africa,
like Johannesburg.
Cape Town is beautiful. I'd move to Ghana. I'd move to Nigeria. You know what I mean? It's different places where you could go, man. That shit is phenomenal, man. Some of the best land, some of the best views, some of the best weather, living that you'll ever experience, bro.
I needed some fresh air, so I decided to take my kids on a walk, and then this question popped in my head while I was walking. So I figured to ask you guys, like, where are the fruit trees that are supposed to be in America? Because in Uganda, there is a fruit tree every single where that you go. And in America, that is not the case. Like, you don't randomly see a mango tree, a jackfruit tree. So where are the trees?
In humility and brokenness, to repent for the sins of the leaders in Africa, and in particular, the sin of selling our own brothers and sisters into slavery. This great sin brought untold pain and misery to millions of people of African descent, and judgment to the African people who remained on the continent. The grave sin of slavery scattered our people all over the face of the earth, where they have suffered great deprivations and loss. If it were not for the part that our African kings and chiefs played in the slave trade, this evil trade could not have survived. Therefore, on behalf of all the African leaders, past and present, all of them, I acknowledge the part that we played in this tragedy, and today we ask for forgiveness. We seek forgiveness for the great pain and loss that the myopic and selfish decisions of our leaders caused our brothers and sisters of African descent around the world, and we ask their forgiveness. We plead the blood of Jesus to cleanse us all from this great sin and release us from the spiritual, mental, emotional, and economic bondage it brought. Today, we reopen the door to our brothers and sisters of African descent to return home to the continent of Africa, the land of their ancestry and the spiritual homeland of all African people. We welcome you home with open arms as brothers and sisters, and pray that we can close the door to the dark past and work towards a better future. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, that's it for today, man. I hope you guys enjoyed those videos, and I hope you found those videos helpful and informative to learning more about the continent of Africa and the people that move there. This has been Boss Talk 843, and this is the place that gives you the best dang reaction every single dang time. And I catch you guys on the next video, all right? Yo.